Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how I did the binocular effect, which you could use, let's say for this example, you got a fire there and you say, hey, I want to take a closer look. So you can see I click on the binoculars, I get this sort of binocular view, and now if I click in one of the black areas, oh, look at that. We've got some kind of placard there which reads flammable gas. So hey, good idea to get the binoculars. But I want to show you how in SimsUshare you can make these binoculars and make your kind of zoomed in view to show whatever you want to show. So first step is let's go back into edit the scenario. I'm going to test original. I'm going to clone it. So this is going to be our test sim. I'm going to copy it and now I'm going to edit it here. So basically I have a single picture. So the idea of this is I'm going to make a separate picture that's zoomed in, and I'm going to switch over into that other picture when you click on the binoculars. So let's first start out by making that new location. I'm going to say new location, and I'm going to call this, let's say it's going to be my initial Z or so. And I'm just going to copy the initial location's assets here, and I hit create. And now I have the same exact stuff, but what I want to do now is I want to go in and adjust the background photo to kind of zoom it up. So this will be sort of what one would see in our in the binocular view, if you could see everything. I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to go, and now we're not going to see the smoke up at top there, so I'm going to remove that smoke. And the most important thing here is I'm going to take whatever small features like this placard and I'm going to make it bigger. So I'm going to make it bigger over here, and you can make it just to the size where it sort of would be readable for the binoculars, even if it's not exactly true to life. I'm going here, I'm going to take away the blur, and I'm also going to take a little bit of the brightness away so it becomes a little bit more readable there. I'm going to still keep the other smoke over here a little bit denser here now that we're sort of zoomed in. I'm going to make this smoke a little bit more opaque because we're looking at there, but you can see that there's something that will say flammable gas, and you can adjust that however you want. Now this could be a victim, it could be any sort of feature you want to emphasize. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to link, right now I have two locations, whatever initial location, and I'm just going to go here back to initial location, and then I have the init Z location. I'm just going to rename the initial one init or whatever it happens to be there, init, and I hit yes. Okay, so now what I do to get from one location to the other, I'm going to use a location jumper. So I'm going to go to utility here, and I'm going to say location jumper, and I'm going to put this down here, but instead of an arrow, I'm just going to use a rectangle. So I'm going to say it's going to be a rectangle, and I'm going to just sort of rotate on the side here, so when someone clicks on the rectangle, it's going to go into the other location. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to say now move to, and instead of next location I'm going to move, I'm in my init location, I'm going to move to init Z location. So I'm done with that, and now let me go get the binocular so it's not just a rectangle here. It's a utility picture, and I'm going to go here and get my binocular icon. You got to go find that. There's my binocular icon. I'm going to scale it down, and now the key thing here, after I've done, there's my binoculars. I'm going to make sure also the location jumper, so I'm using the selection rotator, make sure that's set to click, move on click, and it is set move on click. But now also I don't want that white background, so I'm going to go here and set the opacity down to nothing. So now that's what it looks like, but it looks like I'm clicking on the binoculars, but I'm really clicking on the location jumper. What I want to do for this is make the same thing in my zoomed location. So I'm going to go here and say copy effects, and I'm going to go and find my location jumper and my picture. I could have renamed these, but I kind of know which ones they are already. I hit copy, and now I'm going to go over to my zoom location, and here I'm just going to go and paste the effects in, and it actually pasted. If we go here with the selection rotator, you see it did paste in the location jumper as well. So I'm going to now adjust the location jumper. Instead of jumping to myself here, I'm going to go and move to back to the init screen there. So now if I test the scenario, I go here and I say, I come here, I click on this, I'm back there, and I click on that. And so it looks like I'm clicking on the binoculars, but obviously I'm really on that background photo. So we're getting to where the zoom view, now the last step is to show the binocular, essentially the overlay. So what I do for that is I use a tool called paint.net. It's a pretty good basic tool, very inexpensive. And I don't know if I can sort of squeeze it into this window here. Let me see if I can do that. But what I did is I created a really big black rectangle. And I just, you'll see over here, I cut out, let me get rid of some of this stuff over here. I basically, it's a PNG file where I cut out circles. Now I want the black to be really extensive. This is a large photograph, and I have a link to where you can take this mask if you just want to use it directly. But I want to make sure that the black goes a long way because I'm going to be dragging this around the screen. And so if I drag it to the right, I want to make sure there's enough black so it covers all the left to the left of it. So now I'm going to go back to SimsUshare, and I'm going to, in my zoom view, what I'm going to do is say, go to Utility, Picture, and I'm going to bring in the binoculars, that mask. And it comes there, and now there's the mask. Oh, it's not really a mask, it's a picture with a cutout, I should say. And I'm going to scale this up to the size that I want. And now I'm going to move it around here to wherever I want it to start out. Let's say I want to start over here. And now the only thing is that the button for binoculars is above what we're dealing with. So I'm going to drop the binocular picture down so it's above the smoke but below the location jumper and the binocular picture. And so now the last step here is, by default, if I play this, okay, great, I've got that view, but I can't move it around. That may be fine for what you want. If I want to let someone move it around, I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to then click on the overlay, and I'm going to go and say tap Control and set movable to be true. This could be used, movable might be for ladders or hoses as well, but here we're going to be moving around this black overlay. So when I hit done and now I hit play, now I can click anywhere in the black and move this over. And you see what, now you'll see why I want to make sure the black extends to each side sufficiently so that someone doesn't see our little trick. And you see if I click on the overlay, click on the location jumper, let's say that's how this thing will start. Someone clicks on the binoculars and they see that, and now they can move around and say, uh-oh, look, flammable gas, something's going on in there. Whereas obviously when we're looking here, we really can't tell anything what that is, a regular sign or a placard. So that should give you a brief idea. I'm going to also upload this scenario so you can actually download and try it out. I'll give you that information in the comments or wherever this video is actually posted, probably on YouTube. So look in the comment section or the description for all the assets and where you can retrieve the scenario. Certainly ask any questions. If you have any other things you want explained, please let us know if we're up for challenges.